Dear friends, welcome to Learning About. In this video, I'm going to solve the general intelligence and reasoning questions from one of the latest SSC MTS papers. So this was asked on 2nd November 2021 in shift 1, right? Now, before I go into the questions, I'll give the brief outline of the computer based examination tier 1 and also the outline of the kind of questions that you can expect from the reasoning section. And before that, I would like to thank all of you for the overwhelming support that you have given for my SSC CHSL videos. I am both happy and humbled by your support. Now coming to the computer based examination tier 1, okay, so what they call it as paper 1. You have like 100 questions and 100 marks, and the duration given is like 90 minutes, that is 1.5 hours. So you have like 4 sections. Each section has 25 questions and 25 marks: general English, reasoning, aptitude and general awareness. Now in this among this you will find videos related to reasoning, aptitude and general awareness in our channel Learning About. You will find the videos both in English as well as Tamil. And as far as English is concerned, the questions, the latest questions are available in our practice platform. So the link to all the relevant videos and the practice platform is given in the description. You can make use of that. Okay, so general English you can practice, also general awareness also you can practice, right? And so by the time you are watching this video, reasoning and aptitude also will be there in the practice platform. So both you can watch our videos as well as you can practice, right? Now please remember, there is a negative mark for wrong answers. Okay, 1/4 negative mark. Okay, that is 0.1 mark for correct answers, 0.25 for wrong answers. Okay, so 1/4 negative mark is there. Please remember that. And so if you look at the reasoning in particular, you have kind of a template questions that are getting repeated. Okay, so I'll show you what are those template questions. So this is the syllabus that is given, right? Now you can of course like pause the video to look at the syllabus, but like rather than looking at like this, you can look at it like this, right? So typically what is asked, like I've listed all the type of questions that is asked in reasoning in SSC, right? In particular MTS, if you look at the October-November paper, some of the questions that are repeated were not asked in the MTS exams. Okay, for example, counting the triangle was not asked. Okay, but it is possible that they can ask this time, I'm not sure, right? And cube was not asked. I mean, when I say it was not asked in any of the papers that I have checked. Okay, so in cube and counting triangles were not asked. Usually there's one arithmetic question in profit loss discount or percentage that was not asked. Okay, and letter sequence question in some papers it was there, some papers it was not there. Blood relationship also was not asked in the reasoning section, right? But it is possible that it can be asked. So what was actually asked? See, coding, decoding, there are a lot of questions that were asked. Okay, I'll show you what are those questions. So coding, decoding, like 5 questions were there based on alphabet sequence. And then analogies. Okay, so there were like meaning based analogy 2 questions, alphabet sequence based analogy like 1 question, and number based analogy like 2 questions, and there are also like number series based question, there are 2 questions, and seating arrangement based question like there are 3 questions, right? So this is again with regard to this particular paper, and also like in general when you look at other papers. Okay, maybe like plus or minus 1 or 2 is possible. And operation logic, there are 2 questions. Usually the syllogism there are only, usually they ask only like 1 question, but in this paper 2 questions in syllogism. So paper folding, cutting and then unfolding 1 question, mirror image 1 question, embedded 1 question, next image in the series. Okay, so all these like you can definitely expect at least 1 question, right? And completing a figure, okay, 1 question, and then classification on Venn diagram, I'll show you what is that. So that's 1 question. So these are the questions we can definitely expect like 1 question. Okay, so in total everything put together 25 questions. So in this 25 almost like all the questions are predictable. Okay, so the effort that you need to put here is very, very minimum, right? Now we will move on to the questions. Now the first question is a coding decoding question, right? So stricture is coded as TSUTCIRER. Then how will inculcate be coded? Now here the alphabet position and all that is the position of the particular letter in the alphabetical order, all that is not required. You can directly decode this, right? So what has happened? ST here what happens, it becomes TS here, and look at the last two letters, RE here becomes ER here, right? And now RICTU becomes UTCIR, just reversed. Okay, so RICTU becomes reverse UTCIR. Now that is what is there. So here IN will become NI and TE will become ET, right? Now in that case, answer option 4 is out, answer option 1 is also out. You are left with only 2 and 3. So what next? You have to write CULCAS ACL UC, ACL UC. Now that's answer option 2. Okay, so NI ACL UC ET. Now, so first question, the answer is answer option 2. So what is the coding, that is coding procedure that is done here? First two letters and last two letters are interchanged, right? The position is like interchanged, and then the remaining 5 letters, they are taken and written in reversed, right? Answer option 2 for the first question. Second question is the number series based question. Now this is a question, it's not a very difficult one, but again it's not a direct one to predict. See, usually in number series what we can expect is multiply by 2, multiply by 3 series, okay, or n square series, or n square plus or minus 1 series, or plus or minus n cube plus or minus 1, or plus or minus n, that kind of a series. Or it can be like 2 per n series, or difference is 2 per n, or it can be like 3 per n series, and so on. Or it can be like prime number series, or difference between them is prime numbers, okay, or questions based on direct common difference, right? Almost actually all like, even if you take like the square based series questions, they're all like common difference based question in an indirect way. Sometimes you have a common difference in a direct way and all that, okay, right? So now coming back to this particular question, now if you look at the difference, 5 minus 1 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 9 is 15, and 15 plus 41 is 56 again. So you are not able to get any particular sequence out of this. So what else we can do? Now if you look at this, right, now 6 into 3 is 15. Now this is closer to that, right? And 15 into 4 is 60, and this is closer to that. Maybe we can get a sequence out of that, right? So 5 into 1, okay, that's 5 minus 1 equal to 4. Now the next one, 4 into 2, right? Now 1 after that 2, right? You are getting, pulling this number here, right? Minus 2, now that's equal to, now the same 2 here, you're okay. Now that's 6. Now 6, pull it down here. So 6 into, next is 3, okay, after 1 2, next is 3. Now 18 minus the same 3, that's 15. Now 15, you pull it down here. So 15 into 4 minus 4, now that's 56. So next, 56 into 5, that's 280, minus 5, that's 275, right? Now that's there in the answer choice, answer option 3. So question number 2, answer is answer option 3, 275 is the right answer. Now the third question, if the signs minus and division are interchanged, then which of the following equations could be correct? See, sometimes, you know, like without substituting in each of the options you can solve, but sometimes it so happens that, you know, like you have to substitute, right? And this is relatively more easy. Sometimes what is given is, you are given like one equation, and you are asked which two symbols if you interchange, right, you will get the given solution, right? So that in that case it becomes a little more time consuming than this. So the best thing to do here, what I would suggest, though it is little time consuming, but if you are good with numbers, it will be helpful. You just solve it like very quickly. So only in very rare case you will be able to directly eliminate something, you'll be able to directly get something. Otherwise you have to do the calculation for all the 4 options, okay? So what I'm trying to say here is that rewrite it, okay? So what they are saying, minus and division you have to interchange, right? So minus division comes here and minus comes here, right? So you write that. So 8 into 12 divided by 6 minus 3 equal to 12. Okay, now very importantly, BODMAS rule you have to follow. So we know what is BODMAS. So when you are doing a mathematical operation, so in the priority of operations, bracket comes first, then off, then division, then multiplication, then addition, and then subtraction finally, right? So here division comes first, so you have to solve this first, and then like this 8. So when you are writing it, you can write it as 8 into 12 by 6, okay, minus 3. Now 6, 12 is like 2 times, so 8 into 2 is 16, 16 minus 3 is 13. So option 1 is ruled out, option 1 is not my answer. Now the second one, if you take 12 minus 4 into 3 by 6, now this is 2 times, 4 is like 2 times, 12 minus 2 is 10, right? You are getting 10 here. So answer option 2 is my right answer. Now there is no doubt about it, okay? There is, I mean, you are not skeptical about the answer, you are 100% sure about the answer. Mark it and move on. Do not look at the other two options. But anyhow, since I am solving, you know, like this is a practice session and I am solving this video, for you. So I'll see what is there in the next two options as well, right? So 4 by 8 into 16 minus 4, right? So in the priority, 8, like 16 is like 2 times, so 4 into 2 is 8, 8 minus 4 is 4. What is given is 6, so option 3 is ruled out. The last one, right? 8 plus 12 by 6 minus 3. Now like this is like 2 times, so what I have is 7, right? What I is given here is 9, so answer option 4 is also ruled out. So the answer is answer option 2 for the third question. Now the fourth question, if banker is coded as KFR, then how would Indian be coded, right? Now here, so A is retained as it is, K is retained as it is, R is retained as it is, right? So which means the even position is retained as it is. Now let's just look at that. NIN, okay, so NIN is right. Now option 3 and 4 are ruled out, okay, so we are stuck between option 1 and 2, right? Now when it comes to questions like this, right, since there are many questions based on these alphabet positions, if you know the position, okay, so if you know, like so let's say E is 5, or let's say at random, you know, like Q is 17 and all that, if you're comfortable with the position, then you don't have to write. But if you're not comfortable with the position, the alphabet position numbers, then it is better to write it initially like this, so that because if you write it once in that exam, you can solve like 5 to 7 questions based on this, right? So, and for easy clarity, I have marked like E is 5, J is 10, O is 15 and T is 20, so that I can calculate the rest quickly, right? But here though, for this particular question, it is not exactly required, because as far as B, coding is +1, next letter, okay, so next letter B, the next letter, then as far as N is concerned, the previous letter M, okay, so N minus 1 and E +1, F, right? So what happens here? I +1, D -1 and A +1. So I +1 is J, N, D -1 is C, and so I'll write it as it is. B +1 is, sorry, A +1 is B, and N as it is, right? So J N C I B N. So what is the coding that is done here? Even position letters are kept as it is, and the odd position is like +1 or -1. That is one letter to the right or one letter to the left, right? Alternatively, right? So J N C I B N is the code. Answer option 2 for the fourth question. Now the fifth question is a very easy one to crack, right? But again, you cannot just be looking at the pair that is given. You cannot, guess the answer. You have to also look at the answer choice, because see, when you look at 10 and 24, there are so many ways you can look at it, okay? So you can look at 10 and 24. One connection is multiply 10 by 2 and then add 4, that is 24. or multiply 10 by 3 minus 6. Okay, now that is 24, right? So there are multiple possibilities, right? At the same time, you should also look at, like the numbers that are given here. Okay, so 140, 165, 48, 99, right? So 50, 80, 70, 120. Now when I was telling about number series, okay, so I was telling about n square plus or minus 1, n square plus or minus n. These are like popular numbers. Okay, so when you look at, like 10 and 24 and 48 and 99 and 50 and 80, right? So what can possibly come to your mind is these are like squares plus or minus 1, right? So now 10 is 3 square plus 1, and this is 5 square minus 1. Okay, so odd squares plus 1 minus 1, right? Now if you look at answer option 2, it is 7 square minus 1, 10 square minus 1. Okay, but that is not we want. Okay, because alternate plus or minus 1. So here if you look at it, it is 7 square plus 1 comma 9 square minus 1. So you have 3 square plus 1, 5 square minus 1. Next is 7 square plus 1, 9 square minus 1. So consecutive odd squares plus 1 minus 1. Okay, alternatively. So answer is answer option 3. Okay, so what is the logic? 7 square plus 1, 9 square minus 1, right? 7 square is 49, 49 plus 1 is 50, 9 square is 81, 81 minus 1 is 80. So answer for the fifth question is answer option 3. Now sixth question is a sitting arrangement based question. So usually like we can expect like one question, but here they have in this particular paper they have asked like 3 questions, right? Not difficult one, but only thing is that little more time consuming. Okay, so sometimes we also call these kind of questions as analytical reasoning question. So you have like 8 friends who are sitting around in a square table, and you have like 3 data given. In fact, it is not 3 data, 3 information or data. It is like you have also the fourth one. Okay, so when they ask who is sitting between C and E, they are also saying if there is only one person between them. Okay, so in fact, so you have like 4 data here. So just imagine a square table and everybody is facing the center, and you have like 8 positions, right? 8 people are sitting, 8 positions, right? Now the first statement says B is facing D and is sitting to the right of E. Now you can place B anywhere in the table. You can place B anywhere in the table, but maybe I'll place B. Okay, just a second. Maybe I'll place B here. Okay. Now if I place B here, now everybody is facing the center. So B is sitting to the right of E. So E is facing the center, B is also facing to the right of E. We have B, and opposite to B, D is sitting. Opposite to B, D is sitting, right? So that's the first statement. Now second statement says F, who is the neighbor of D. Now when you say F is the neighbor of D, you can place either F here or here. Okay, down. Okay, so either you can place F to D's right or to D's left. Okay, now but you cannot place F to D's right because F is facing G. Now if you put F to D's right, then F will be facing E. That is not correct. So F is sitting to the left of F is sitting to the left of D, and opposite is G. Now we have considered 2 statements, right? Now the next one, there are 2 persons sitting between C and H is not facing E. Now when you say H is not facing E, so H should not come here, right? And also there is one more thing that you have to consider here. Now between C and E, here they have given that there is only one person, right? So which means you cannot put C here as well, right? So in which case you have to put C here and H here. Okay, only then it will work out, right? So I'll just probably redraw this once again and then explain this part once again, right? So what we have, just to confirm that if we have checked all the conditions, so we have a square table and there are 8 people sitting around, right? And first we have B sitting to the right of E and opposite is D, and then we have F who is sitting opposite to G. Okay, so why we are not placing a F to the F here, because F should be sitting opposite to G, right? Then we have C and H, right? And there is one person between C and E, so we can only place C here, and H is not facing E, so we cannot put H here, so H should be here, right? So this is the position, right? One more person who is left out, okay, so that is not a concern here, right? Now the question is, who might be sitting between C and E? That's very obvious, B, right? So you don't have to actually complete the arrangement and all that. It is just one question, 1 mark, okay? So the moment you get the answer, mark it and move on. You don't have to fill all. Only for explanation purpose, I am just filling everything, right? So answer option for the 6th question is answer option 4. B is the right answer. So B is sitting between C and E, right? Now question number 7, if bank is coded as 32 and break is coded as 42, then how would clever be coded? So I'll use the alphabet position reference for help here. Now in such questions, most often this could be based on the positions, okay, sum of the positions. So bank B is second alphabet, A is the first one, N is 14 and K is 11. So if you sum it up, like you have 3 plus 14 is 17 plus 11 is 28, but what we have is 32, right? So 28, but it is 32 here. So let's just go for the next one. B is 2, R is 18, A is 1, K is 11 and E is 5. So 2 plus 18 is 20, 21, 32 and 32 plus 5 is 37. Now 37 is coded as 42. So by this time you would have guessed it, okay? So what has happened? You got, when you add the sum of the positions, you got 28. There are 4 alphabets, so 28 plus 4 is 32. And here when you add the alphabet positions, it is 37, and break is a 5-lettered word, so 37 plus 5 is 42. Now let's just look at clever. Now C is 3, L is 12, E is 5, V is 22, E is 5, R is 18, right? If you sum it up, 3 plus 12 is 15, 20, 42, 47 and then 55. I'm sorry, 47 and then 65, right? 65, and clever is a 6-lettered word, so 65 plus 6, that's 71. So the code answer is answer option 4. 71 is the answer for question number 7. That's a very easy one to solve. Now 8th question, it's another, like an arrangement based question, not exactly a seating arrangement, but it is also like more like an arrangement. So you have a medical representative visiting 6 doctors from Monday to Saturday, right? Only 1 doctor per day, and you have like 4 questions, 4 statements or data are given, or information is given, and you are asked, like which are the 2 doctors did he visit on the first 2 days. So let's see, whenever you get a question like this, so as I have already demonstrated, you should write the given data or information into a more readable, more understandable format. So here, like, let's place the 6 days, right? Maybe I'll write, okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then like Saturday, right? Now he visited U on some day before visiting R and T. So U, R, T, okay, in between there could be some days we don't know, okay? So U, R, T is one information that we have here, and he visited P on the previous day of visiting S, but not on Thursday. So P and S together, that is one information, and P not on Thursday. Okay, so P and S together, consecutive days, but P not on Thursday, and he did not visit either Q or S on the last day. So Q not on Saturday, right? And yes also not on Saturday. Yes also not on Saturday. He did not visit either Q or S on the last day is done. And so he visited Q just after U, but not on Tuesday, right? So U and Q are together, right? U and Q are together. Now So when you say U and Q are together, can it be Monday and Tuesday? No, because Q not on Tuesday, right? And Q not on Tuesday, right? Now, and Q not on Saturday as well. Okay, so one of the possibilities, I'm just assuming, right? So it is possible that U and Q could come here Wednesday and Thursday, because Q cannot be on Tuesday, it cannot be on Saturday as well. Okay, so I'm just like trying to put it here, right? Now you may have a question, why can't like I put U and Q on Thursday Friday, right? Thursday Friday. Now that is not possible, because after U, right, the doctor, the representative visited doctors R and T, so R and T should come after U and Q also should come after U. So this is the only possibility. So who comes on the first, which doctors did he visit on the first 2 days? That should be like P and S, and they are together. Now we have got the answer for the question. So answer option 4, P and S. So he visited doctors P and S in the first 2 days. Question number 8, answer option 4. Now question number 9, an image based question. So you have to select the option figure, okay, which is embedded, right? You have to, this question figure is embedded in one of the 4 options, right? The question figure is embedded in one of the 4 options. So which figure is that? And they have mentioned that a rotation is not allowed. Okay, so what we have here is kind of a rectangle. Okay, so maybe there is a rectangle, right? And that rectangle, if you split it into like 2 halves, right? If you split it into like 2 halves, this line here splits it further. Okay, or maybe if you draw it like this, so you have a rectangle, right? And then you have a line, and then another line. Okay, so this is the shape. Now this is very easy to predict, right? So we have this here, you have a rectangle, right? And then a line like this. I've shown it. Now if suppose, it's not confusing actually here, but if suppose you ask me to eliminate the answer choices which are not possible, right? What can I do here, right? Now as far as, if you take the 4th option, like in the 4th option you don't have this line, right? So you have a cut like this, right? You have, but this line is not there, this horizontal line here is not there, right? So 4th option is eliminated. 4th option is eliminated, right? Now here in this diagram, even though you have a rectangle, even though you have a rectangle somewhere, right, but it is not cutting it like this, like I said, into like 2 equal halves. If you take this as a rectangle, if you take this smaller rectangle, right, now this line here in the center, okay, or in other words diagonal, is cutting into 2 equal triangles. Okay, now that is not happening in the second one, so that is ruled out. Now in the third option here, right, now this cutting line, this slant line, okay, rotation is not allowed, so this slant line is, which is in other words a diagonal, is not there in the third option. So all is there only in the first one. Okay, so you have a rectangle, right, and a diagonal kind of a line, okay, like this. So answer option 1 for the first question. Okay, so though I have taken a little more time only for the explanation purpose, but the moment you look at the question you can mark it. Okay, so probably in 2 to 3 seconds, the moment you look at it you can mark this. Now next one is an analogy, very easy analogy. Track is related to athlete in the same way classroom is. Okay, so you can look at the track is the area where the athlete like practices, or the track is the area where athlete participates in an event or a competition. right, in a race and all that. Now in that similar way, okay, so classroom, if you consider, like track as the and classroom, right, so here you have athlete, who's practicing or participating and so on. And so in a classroom, a student, okay, so again that's obvious from the answer choices also among the other options, right. So student is the person, right, so who participates, who learns, okay, right. So answer is student for question number 10, analogy based one. Now question number 11, a syllogism based question. Usually like you get one question syllogism, but in this paper there were like 2 questions, right. So here what they have said is there are 2 statements and 2 conclusions. Assuming the statements to be true even if they do not conform to real world knowledge, so decide which of the conclusions logically follows, right. Now let me go for the most simple method of Venn diagrams. So first statement says some plants are trees, okay. So if I draw a plant circle, now some of these plants are trees, okay, that was the first statement. Now second statement, right, all herbs are plants, all herbs are plants. So you can write a herbs, you can draw a herb circle, and all herbs are plants, right. So these are like independent, I have drawn it as like separate statements. Now what happens if you combine this together, right. So there are like multiple possibilities, right. One possibility is that you have like plants and then trees, okay. So some plants are trees, and then you have like all herbs are plants. This is one possibility, right. So let's not like stretch it any further. Let's look at the conclusion. The first conclusion is some plants are herbs, some plants are herbs, yes. Now that is obvious. Now from the second statement, it's if you reverse the second statement, right, one way of looking at second statement is all herbs are plants. The other way of looking at it is some plants are herbs, okay. So among the plants, some of them are herbs. So conclusion 1 follows, conclusion 1 follows, right. So which means option 1 is ruled out, option 2 is ruled out, okay. So you are only left with option 3 and 4. The second one says all herbs are trees is a possibility, all herbs are trees is a possibility. Now they are not saying it is always true, but it is just a possibility. Now is that possible? Yes. How it is possible is, now when you draw like some plants or trees from this from the first statement, okay, so I'll draw it again, sorry. So you have plants, right, and then some of the plants are trees. Now this all herbs are plants, you can also draw it like this. Now according to this diagram that I have drawn, now all herbs are plants, right. Now here in this kind of so I'm satisfying statement 1 as well as statement 2, right. So it is possible that in one of the cases all herbs are trees is a possibility, okay. So that's answer option 3, right. It is not true at all instances, but it is just a possibility in one of the different like possible answers, okay, in different possible conclusions, right. But whereas the first one is the first conclusion is always true, like some plants are herbs, okay, it is always true, but here this is just merely a possibility. So answer option. Now this kind of a merely a possibility, they don't give it like many times, but in this paper it was asked, right. So answer option 3 for question number 11. Now question number 12, a very easy analogy. Entertainment is related to television in the same way warmth is related to. So warmth, you have like temperature, proximity, woolens, day. Now entertainment, okay, so who what is the source? If you connect entertainment and television, you can say television is a source of entertainment. In that way, woolen. Okay, so woolen is a source of warmth. Okay, you cannot relate the other three options. So television is a source of entertainment, and similarly woolen is a source of warmth. So answer is answer option 3 for. Now question number 13, alphabet sequence based, like missing series, right? Very easy to predict. Now you're going in increasing order, that is visible. So anyhow, let me number the letters. So we have 3, 5, 4, and then like 6, 10 and 8. Then we have like 11, 17 and 14. Then we have to find the missing one. Then we have like 1, 11 and 6. Now for convenience, since it is going in increasing order, you can write A as 27, K as 37 and this as 32. Why? Because see, Z is 26, that's over. Now after that again it is starting with A, so maybe you can write it as 27, right? Now just take only the first letters. So first letters, if you take C, right, C, F and then K, then something is missing, and then you have A, which is 27. So what is the difference here? It is 3, 5, right? Maybe it is 7. In that case it is 18 here. Okay, so 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, 11 plus 7 is 18, and 18 plus 9 is 27. So, okay, so you have a sequence here. So what is the 18th letter? R. 18th letter is R. So options 1 and 2 are out. Now if you look at the next one, right, E is 5, J is 10, Q is 17, next one is missing, right, and then K is like 37. Okay, K is actually 11, but 26 plus 11 is 37. So here the difference is 5, 7. So after that maybe it is 9, that's 26, that's Z, right? Answer option 3, mark it and move on, don't worry about it. Okay, but if you are curious, right, D plus 4 is H, H plus 6 is N, okay, and so N plus 8, 22, that's V, right? Answer option 3 is the answer for question number 13. Now question number 14, now which one will complete the sequence, right? So what is happening here? Now this is like 4 blocks or 4 pieces. Okay, so this is like one piece, this is another piece, and this is the third piece, and you have a 4th piece which is missing. Okay, so that would complete the pattern. Okay, so either this on the left, you flip it to the right, okay, your answer will look like that, or this on the top, this side, okay, on the left hand top, if you flip it, okay, invert it, okay, invert it down, then you will get here. Okay, so this is what you should be basically looking for. This is what you should be basically looking for, right? So one clue is you need, like 3 lines like this. Okay, so one like a diagonal, okay, and then other 2 lines. So we need basically those 3 lines, right? Now option 2 is out. Option 2 is out. Okay, option 2 doesn't look like that, right? Now, and this option 3 is also out because we don't have a line like this. Okay, so this formation, okay, this formation is not correct, so that is also ruled out. That is also ruled out. Now we are stuck between option 1 and 4. Option 1 and 4, and those two are like very similar except for, okay, this line here. Okay, except for this line here, everything else is same. So now what we have to do is whether you have to check whether that line is there. Okay, that is this line here, whether it is a single line or it is a continuous line like this in option 4, right? Now when you look, that is, it is coming from, that is whether it is coming from this edge to the other edge. Okay, so it's a single line like a diagonal, whether you have that line here, you have any kind of a line like that from here to here. No, it is not there. Okay, so answer option 1 is the answer for question number 14. Okay, so this, so now these things, you need to look at it like very closely and carefully. Sometimes the answer is obvious, but sometimes you have to look at it close. So answer for this question is answer option 1 for question number 14. Question number 15, mirror image based question. Okay, so select the correct mirror image of the given figure X when the mirror is placed on the right side. Okay, of course they have not given the mirror, like in the actual question. I just placed it for like better understanding. So we have a question figure. So as far as mirror image is concerned, one of the very most basic thing is what is on your left will fall on the right in the mirror, and vice versa. Okay, so what is on the left will be on the right, and what is on the right will be on the left, and what is on the top, okay, will remain only on the top. It will not come to the bottom. Okay, so what is on the top will be in the top only, what is on the bottom will be on the bottom only, right? So we have to remember this first, right? Now in such case, now here to start with, the X is on your right, X is on your right. Now X will come to your left, X will come to your left. So option 2 is out. X should be on the left, so option 2 is out, right? Then here this one is on the left, so that should come to your right. So in which case option 3 is out, right? Option 3 is out. Now you are left with option 1 and 4. Option 1 and 4, right? Now this dark part here on the left will come to the right, okay, but what is in the bottom will be in the bottom only. So this is only correct. So it comes, see what is on the left here comes to the right this side, okay, and it remains there, right? So answer is answer option 4. But here what is problem with this? They are taking it to the top. Now that is not possible. In the mirror image, what is on the top will remain in the top only, what is on the bottom will remain in the bottom only. So option 1 is out. So what is correct is answer option 4. So please remember, what is on the left will come to your right, and what is on the right will come to your left, but what is on the top will remain on the top only, and what is on the bottom will remain on the bottom only. And as far as this is concerned, this shaded part is on the right will come to the left. Okay, now that's correct in answer choice 1 and 4. Anyhow, answer choice 4 is the answer for question number 15. Now question number